Hello, everyone, and welcome to my podcast, Form to Function, where I will be discussing my favorite design principle. As some of you may know, design principles in information design are like a set of guidelines that you could follow in order to achieve a successful visual outcome. What determines the success is the extent to how engaging your display is, the accuracy and reliability of your data, if you're presenting it in a way that's easy to understand, how it looks visually, and so on. But really, it just comes down to how effectively you display your information to your viewers. There are a few different principles of effective information display, but I won't really be going through all of them due to our limited time. But to begin, I truly believe that the principle of integrating words, numbers, and images is the most important one out of all of them. These features really help to minimize the design figuring out time, which is key to a good display. I'd rank this as number one, but aside from my own bias of just really enjoying seeing images on graphics, it actually does have multiple functions. This principle stems from Edward Tuft's list of design principles for effective information design. He essentially argues that bringing these features together enables the designer to tell a story. Even if the words, numbers, and images are different devices, they still serve the same purpose to effectively present information. If designers follow this principle in combination with the other ones, it really helps set them up for an effective design. Let's envision a scenario where we are tasked to create a successful display but can only choose one principle to apply. Each designer's choice on this could be different, since one may place more value on color and another on small multiples, and so on. The possibilities are literally limitless. But personally, for me, if it came down to only choosing one principle, I think that it would be best to just stick with this principle simply because it helps to reduce the figuring out time for an audience. It would be quite ineffective if a display only contained a large amount of data and words that are packed together in order to get the information across. This would greatly extend the understanding and comprehension process and might actually just make the graphic very boring in general. By integrating images into the mix, it brings upon a positive and visual element that can better help the audience understand and figure out what the graphic is about. However, it's important to note that content should still be the main focal point in a display. While visuals are nice to have, these decorations should not be used to make up for the lack of content or in a way that turns it into chart junk, which we do not like as designers. A good balance between these features is needed, so designers should be mindful of every element that they choose to add in their own display. To put this principle in action, let's imagine two posters side by side. The content of these posters are to advertise ballet lessons at the Arc. One poster is composed entirely of text ranging from a large bolded title that trickles down to chunks of text. This poster only aims to provide background information about ballet and where the user can find lessons and the time of the lessons. The second poster still consists of the same content, but the text is broken up into smaller sections and contains visual elements such as an image of a ballerina in action. Although these two posters provide the same information and data, the second one minimizes the figuring out time by incorporating an image that represents the content. The reason why this principle is so important is that it helps cut down the information processing length for users and provides a layer of engaging design that makes the display more interesting and provocative. Take the posters advertising the market at the Arc, for example. Although these posters are very simple and only intend to convey short and concise information that the market is open, it still integrates a visual. While the absence of this visual will still allow the poster to get its message across in a short period of time, it's much less eye-catching and engaging. Now, bad applications of this principle can lead to utter disaster. Just think of an informational graphic where there are so many visual elements that it overpowers the content itself. The visuals make it hard to focus on the content displayed, as your eyes are just trying to take in everything that's happening on the graphic so that your brain could make some sense of it. This is a prime example of bad information design where the designer overcompensates for the content by incorporating a variety of images and decorations, also known as chart junk. It's also important to understand that when including words, numbers, and images into design, that they should be integrated together rather than separate. If these features are separate to one another, it can potentially cause confusion and a longer figuring out time for the audience, since it can burden them with linking the elements on their own. A good balance of this design form and function leads to an effective information design display. There are other principles that are important for designers to keep in mind, but I just wanted to discuss my personal favorite and why I think that it's the most important. That's all I really had to say for today about this design principle, and I hope to discuss the other ones in future episodes. Thank you so much for tuning into my podcast, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Hugs and kisses. Bye.